What's going on, guys? Jeremy here from Focus Flow, and today we're talking about sprained ankles and how to heal them quickly and efficiently. So if you follow me on Instagram, then you know that I sprained my ankle about 3 or so weeks ago, and although it was a really bad sprain, it's been recovering extremely fast. I'm not really that surprised about this because through my life I've been playing sports that are high risk of sprains, and I've sprained my ankle multiple times throughout my life, so I picked up a lot of tips and tricks that I've used to really speed up my recovery process. Now, that being said, I am by no means the creator or inventor of these methods. I know people that have used these and have seen equally as good results. I'm just here to pass the information on to you so that you can recover from your sprained ankles just as fast. So with that all being said, here are the 5 things that I do now to recover my sprained ankle significantly faster than with any other methods I've used. So before we start into the actual recovery process, I do want to let you know that I occasionally do use ice and rest my ankle upon initially spraining it. This is because when you first sprain it, you don't really do any recovery exercises right away. You just kind of have to get off your ankle and let it sit for a few hours, usually just a whole day, and the next day is when I start my actual recovery process. So the day following my sprained ankle is when I start the actual recovery process, and the first thing I do is go through the range of motions in my ankle. The reason I do this is because it promotes blood flow and increases mobility for the recovered sprained ankle. There's a very common misconception that swelling is bad for your sprained ankle, when in reality that's not really true. Swelling is just what your body does naturally in reaction to the fact that you tore a ligament in your ankle. So this is why, in large part, I'm against using ice, elevation, compression, and definitely painkillers when it comes to actually recovering your sprained ankle. All of these methods are used to reduce blood flow, which reduces swelling, which reduces pain. But that swelling is necessary for your body to try to repair the ankle that is indeed sprained. Contrary to this, moving your ankle through its range of motion promotes that blood flow, and yes, it might increase swelling, but it's going to help you overall in the recovery process. Not only that, but going through the range of motion of your ankle is really important for increasing that mobility for when it does fully recover. Now, for this exercise, as well as all the other ones that I'm going to recommend in this video, the way I go about it is by avoiding sharp pain, but pushing through a little bit of discomfort. As long as you do this, you should have no issues when it comes to recovering your ankle. What's also great about this exercise is you can do it anywhere. If you're laying in bed resting on your ankle because you can't stand on it yet, then you can just dangle your foot off the edge of the bed and run it through its range of motions. Once you're able to stand, you can do it while standing. It's a great exercise to do. You can do it for about 30-second increments at a time. And you can either go in circles, or what I like to do is write the ABCs with my ankle. It just really gets the full range of motion out of it. As the days go by and you continue with these other exercises, you'll notice that you'll be able to get more range of motion out of your ankle and thus push it a little bit further each and every day. The second step I take when it comes to recovering my ankle is applying pressure. And by pressure, I just mean your normal body weight of what you would do when you're normally healthy. With this step especially, it's really important that you listen to your body so that you can avoid that sharp pain and just, battle through a little bit of discomfort. Applying pressure to your ankle with your normal daily routine, such as standing and walking, is very good because it promotes that blood flow just like going through the range of motion did, and it also encourages your body to prioritize healing your ankle. Now, I'm not going to pretend I'm some doctor or anything, but in my experience, it seems like your body prioritizes healing something when it feels like it needs to be healed. So when you're just resting your ankle and not doing anything on it, you have it in a boot and you just leave it alone all the time, then your body's probably not going to prioritize trying to heal that ankle because it doesn't seem like you need to use it. But if you're walking and you're purposely using that ankle, again, avoiding sharp pain, then oftentimes your body will heal that ankle, in my experience, much faster. So for my recent sprain, which was pretty bad, it started off with me just standing on my ankle, and then the progression just carried on slowly each and every day from there, from walking to jogging to running, and then now jumping and even flipping. Again, if you listen to your body and avoid anything that's giving you sharp pain, then you should have no issues when it comes to recovering your ankle fast. Once you get to the point where you're able to stand and walk on your ankle without any sharp pain, then it's time to do the third tip, which is stretching. When you sprain your ankle, it's going to be rebuilt almost from the ground up. And in a lot of cases, if you're not stretching and you're not trying to make it more mobile, then it's going to recover very stiff. And in a sport like free running, you really need to be flexible in your ankles in order to avoid further injury and also just get the most out of your body when it comes to jumping and landing. Two really basic stretches I like to do are basically a calf stretch, where I just have my toes on some elevated surface and I just let my heel drop down as far as it can while my legs being stretched. And then another stretch just involves me standing on my toes and bending my ankle in whichever way. As long as I'm avoiding sharp pain, it seems to help stretch it a lot. The fourth tip for recovering your sprained ankle is with strengthening. I'll admit I should probably work on this a little bit more than I do, but this is doing little exercises that you can to promote strengthening your ankle so that when it's rebuilt and it's recovered, you're less likely to sprain it in the future and you're just overall going to be a better athlete. When undergoing any injury, chances are you're going to be weaker in that area of your body than elsewhere. So when I sprain my left ankle, I'm going to be weaker in my left ankle even after it's recovered than my right ankle. Now what's great about all these previous tips is that really mitigates that difference there, because the whole time you're recovering, you're not just letting it sit idle. There's not as much atrophy going there. But it's still important to strengthen your ankle and strengthen your other one as well, just to prevent any future sprains as much as you can. I'm sure there are very specific ankle exercises you can do to strengthen it, such as putting a resistance band on your foot and going against it with your ankle. But honestly, a lot of exercises that you would normally do, such as squatting and maybe calf raises, also work to strengthen your ankle, and I'd recommend doing those just as much. And the fifth and final tip for recovering your sprained ankle, and this is the hardest one, that is not going back into free running or whatever sport you do that caused it to sprain in the first place until you're fully ready to do it. This has been the cause of a lot of sprains lasting longer than they ever should have, because it feels good, you're ambitious, you want to go back to your sport, and you do, but then you end up having a bad landing or something that otherwise wouldn't be too bad, but because your ankle is not 100% there, it ends up getting re-injured and adding a little bit more time to your recovery time. So just make sure you take the time you do need to recover, and you really make sure that you are recovered before going into any high-risk activities. That being said, that doesn't mean you need to completely avoid free running. A good thing to do is that once your ankle starts feeling good, is to go in baby steps. Practice a little bit of rail flow or some ledge work before you move on to more high impact stuff, and really make sure that you're avoiding uneven surfaces and stuff while your ankle is healing, because those are extremely high risk for rolling it, which will cause another sprain. Anyway guys, those are my 5 tips for recovering your sprained ankle. I hope they help. Honestly, I really recommend you give these a shot if you haven't already. For me, they've helped me recover significantly faster than the R.I.C.E method or any other methods that honestly a lot of doctors have told me in the past. So give it a try. I really think you'll like the results. So that's all for me today, guys. If you have any questions or suggestions, leave them in the comments below and I'll be sure to get around to answering them as soon as possible. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.